Good day to everyone, and today we will see GATE 2017 Set 1 power system questions we are seeing. Okay, yeah. The question says a three-bus power system is shown in the figure below, where the diagonal elements of Y-bus matrix are given to us as shown in the figure. Okay, the per unit values of the line reactance P, Q, and R we have to find out. Okay. See, this is a power system diagram, okay, in which we are given these are the JQ. Okay, see, in the admittance matrices, we use admittances, but here they have given us these reactances. Okay, JQ, JR, JP. Okay, so we have reactances JQ, JR, JP. Okay. Now he has given us y11, y22. See, y11 means the sum of all the elements connected to bus 1. Similarly, bus y22 means sum of admittances of all the elements connected to bus 2. Okay. So the per unit values of the line reactances P, Q, and R we have to find out. Okay. See, let me now, just to avoid confusions, we can have equations in this format. Let us say admittances are P, Q, and R. Okay, where P is equal to what? 1 by P. Q is equal to 1 by Q, and R is equal to 1 by R. Okay, so this is in this fashion we can analyze this question. Now we will write the equations. Okay, so write equations. See, I have told you what is y11. Y11 is the sum of the admittances of the elements connected to bus 1. See, to bus 1, Q and R are connected. So your 12 will be equal to what? P plus Q. Okay. Okay. And for your y22 is given as minus J50. See, I'm not considering signs because this P will be in actually, see, I hope you know this, that if your reactance is this, then your admittance will come out to be minus JY. Okay, so so there will be negative signs here, but I will just take out the values and then I will put the signs according to my logic. Okay, so that is in my mind, just to avoid the all sorts of confusion and things. Okay, so 15 is equal to y22 to bus 2, Q and P is connected. Okay, to bus 1, Q and R is connected. Okay, Q and R to bus 1. To bus 2, Q and P is connected. P plus Q. To bus 3 is given 7, and to bus 3 R and P is connected. Okay, so see, we have got these three equations. So on solving 1, 2 and 3, I hope you can easily solve these three equations. Okay, what you will get is, you will get your P is equal to 5, your Q is equal to 10, your R is equal to 2. Okay, so now we have to find these reactances P, Q and R. I have already told you. See, your reactances will be positive in sign. Okay. See, because reactances are always positive, and when you write the admittance, the negative signs already comes. Okay. So I hope you know this concept. See, in this Y-bus matrix cases, only this thing has to be clear. If you are having confusion, then you can visit the links in the description. Okay. So P is equal to 5, Q is equal to 10, R is equal to 2. So from here your P will be 1 by 5 as I have written here. So it will be 0.2. Q will be 1 by 10, 0.1. R will be 1 by 2, 0.5. So from these option B is the correct answer. Okay, so please don't confuse in the signs. Okay, sign, you know it that for reactances these are always positive, and for admittance your negative sign comes. Okay, so why for admittance negative sign comes, then you can see the videos in the description. So B is the answer. Okay, GATE 2017 set 1 power system questions we are doing. So in this question it is given that a 10 bus power system consists of 4 generator buses indexed as G1, G2, G3, G4. So in the question it is given to us that there are 4 generator buses. Okay, so generator buses means that there are 4 PV buses. Okay, as such. Okay, so your PV buses are given to you as 4 now, for now. Okay, and there are 6 load buses. Load buses means PQ. Okay, 6 as of now. Now he is saying that generator bus G1 is considered as slack bus. Okay, so in your 4 generator buses, your G1 is considered to be slack. Okay, and the load buses L3 and L4 are voltage controlled buses. Okay, L3, L4 are voltage controlled. Okay. The generator at bus G2 cannot supply the required reactive power demand, and hence it is operating at maximum reactive power limit. Okay, so what does this mean is that for G2 you know the Q value. Okay, so your this G2 will act like a load bus. See, always remember one thing, the basic concept that, see, when you say it is a PV bus, so it means that you know the values of P and V for that bus. Okay, at that instant. If it is given as a PQ bus, then it means that you know the values of P and Q of that bus at that instant. Okay, so here it is given as PV is number of PV buses is 4, and from that one is slack bus. So finally, so we will now see the finally what are what buses. So final. Okay, and always remember that we have to apply this formula usually in these questions, that is 2PQ plus PV. So this gives us the order of the Jacobian matrix. So here it is asked the number of non-linear equations. So if the order of Jacobian matrix comes out to be 100 by 100, guess, let us say for example, it comes out to be 100 into 100. So your number of non-linear equations will be 100. Okay, so that is the thing. So always remember this thing, 2PQ plus PV. So somehow you have to just find out which are the generator buses, which are the load buses, and that way you have to solve the question. Okay, so now let us find out how many PV buses are actually in the system. Okay, so number of PV buses actually. Okay, so I have told you why voltage controlled bus has taken as PV bus. Okay, So that is the reason. So number of PV buses will be, by default it is given to us as 4, out of which one is slack bus. Okay, L3 and L4 are voltage controlled. So this means that these buses are changed to be, are now PV buses. Okay, so 4 minus 1 plus 2, and G2 has become a load bus, so it will be subtracted. So finally you will get your PV buses as equal to 4. Okay, now you calculate the number of PQ buses. Okay, so the number of PQ buses will be, so originally they were 6. Okay, so 6. Now out of those, 2 have become the PV bus, so you will subtract 2. Okay, and your one of the generator has become a load bus, so you will add 1, so you will get it as 7 minus 2 will be 5. Okay, so now your order of Jacobian will be two PQ plus PV. So it will be 2 into PQ is 5 plus 4, so it will come out to be 14. 14 is the number of non-linear equations required. Okay, so that is the trick that you have to remember for such questions. Okay, so now next question, GATE 2017 set 1 we are doing. The bus admittance matrix for a power system network is this. Okay, there is a transmission line connected between buses 1 and 3, which is represented by the circuit shown in the figure. Okay, if the transmission line is removed from service, what is the modified bus admittance matrix? Okay, so if you are not aware of this concept, then please visit the link in the description. Okay, so now we have to modify the given Y bus matrix. So given Y bus matrix is minus J 39.9, J20, minus J 39.9, J20, okay, so this is the Y bus given to us. Now we have to modify. See, now he is saying that the connection between 1 and 3 is like this, and this connection has been removed. Okay, so see, now between bus 1 and 3 is removed. So what are the elements that are going to be infected? Okay, by this removal of line, that we have to change. See, now Y13. Okay, so what all elements will if be affected? This Y11, because all Y11 means all the elements connected to the bus 1. Your Y33 will also get affected, and your Y13 will get affected, and your Y31 will get affected. Okay, so these 4 terms will get affected due to the removal of this line. Okay, so now let us see what is the Y13. Okay, see, Y13 is minus times admittance between 1 and 3. Oh, minus times, yes, admittance between 1 and 3. So so what is the reactance of 1 and 3 is, so Y13 is equal to 1 upon minus j. See, admittances are negative. Okay, 1 upon 0.05 is equal to minus j 20. Okay, so your y13 is minus j 20. So this implies your y13 will be minus times small y13, so it will come out to be j20. Okay, so on removal of this line, your this y13 now y13 will become 0 equal to y31. So your this element goes to 0 and this element goes to 0. Okay, so that is the one thing. Okay, so now let us see the second part of this question. Second part means that what will happen to these elements that we have to find out. Okay, so let me take a new page. See, your y11 is given to you as minus j 39.9. Okay, and your line was given to you as, this was the line that was given to you, that is removed. It's 0.05 per unit and it is 0.05 per unit only. Yeah, and susceptance is given to you as 0.05 per unit. Susceptance means that the inverse of the capacitance. So already admittance is given to me. Okay, so your y11 is given to minus j 39.9. So here actually, see, your y11 will be formed of the admittance of this line, that is minus j20, and it will be form of this capacitance will also be added, the inverse of the capacitance, that is susceptance. Okay, and always remember the reciprocal of capacitance is, that is your susceptance is with positive sign. Okay, so plus j 0.05 and plus something, that is will be equal to your given minus j 39.9. Okay, so now we have to find this x. Okay, that is, we have removed these terms. Then what your x will be? Your x will be plus j20 minus j 0.05. Okay, so this will come out to be minus j 19.9 minus j 0.05, that is minus j 19.95. Okay, now this is your new y11 is minus j 19.95. So, and your y33 was also minus j 39.9. Okay, so from bus 3 also this line got removed. So your new y33 will be same as new y11, that is minus j 19.95. So we have calculated new y11, new y13. Okay, so these elements were changed to, this was changed to minus j 19.95 and this was also changed to minus j 19.95. Okay, so your new matrix will be option C. Okay, so that is how you need to solve. You just have to figure out what all elements get changed due to the removal or addition of line, and then you can proceed. Okay, just remember the signs, that what will be the signs of the admittances for the reactance and the capacitance. Okay, so that you can see. Okay, okay, now let us see this question. Okay, in this question it is given to us the expression for power 1.5 sine delta. The system is operating at stable equilibrium with the mechanical power equal to 1 per unit. Okay, if the transmission line circuit is removed, the maximum value of delta is also given to us. Okay, so in this expression, when the line is removed, what will be the expression we have to find out? that too of P max. Okay, see, now one thing is very much clear too, that initially the power was transferred using both the lines, and later the power is only transferred using one line. Okay, so your in the next case, that is when the one of the line is removed, your power transferred will be less. How? See, you can analyze this thing using this expression. So in the first case, initially your reactance was, let me say it was x volt. So initially, let me say it was x1, x2, or x, or simply x. We don't know. So let me, just for your understanding, let me take it as xx. Okay, so x volt was x by 2, and your x new will be equal to what? When one of the line is removed, your x new will be equal to only x. Okay, so your P old was 2 into Vs Vr by x sin delta, and your P new will be Vs Vr by x sin delta. So see, you can see that in your next case, that is when one of the line is removed, your power has increased, decreased. Okay, so that this is one thing that we must be able to analyze after reading this question. Okay, so let me rub this off. Okay, so yeah, it's given to us as, now let me draw from the equilibrium criteria we can draw the curve. This is your load angle, this is your P. So initially you are given, let me say, this curve. It's given as 1.5 sin delta, and after the removal of the one of the line, your curve will reduce to this thing. Let me say this is P max sin delta, and in this expression you have to find this P max. Okay, so that is the question. And now what else is given to us is that your mechanical power was, let me say this is your P mechanical as 1 per unit, and initially your system was at equilibrium. Let me say initially system was here, so this was delta 1. Okay, so now one thing is very much clear to us, that as 1.5 sin delta 1 is equal to 1 per unit. Why? As Pm is equal to Pe in equilibrium. Okay, so from here I can find out this delta 1. It will come out to be sine inverse 1 upon 1.5 equal to 41.81 degrees, and in radians it will be equal to 0.729 radians. Okay, so this one thing is clear to me. Now your line is removed. Okay, so your whole system will follow this characteristics. Okay, this dark blue one. Okay, so now he is saying that when system comes to this line, the maximum oscillation, the maximum delta it reaches is, see, maximum delta is this angle. Okay, you can visit the links in the description if you are having some problem in this concept. Okay, your delta max will be this. Okay, so now for this thing we have to find the value of P max. Okay, so see, direct formula does not seem feasible here. We have direct formula for delta C. So your critical angle will be anything, your critical angle, but our operating angle in the new case will be this one. So let me mark it as delta C. Okay, so now we have to find this P max. Okay, so let us try to write the equation. See, from the equilibrium criteria, this area will be equal to this area. Okay, it should be equal to this area for system to be stable. So let us say this is area A1, this is area A2. So from equal area criteria, or better it will be using equal area criteria, your A1 is equal to A2. Okay, so your A1 will be, if I write mathematically, it will be from delta 1 to delta C. Okay, the area swapped from delta 1 to delta C under the curve, or in between the curve, this PM and this new one. So it will be PM minus, or you can say it as 1 minus P max sine delta. Okay, into D delta should be equal to this curve between P max sine delta and PM, delta C to delta max from P max sine delta minus 1. Okay, so now what you have to do is, see, this was your equation. Okay, so now you have to solve this. Just put in the values. Okay, see, for 1 your integration will be d delta from delta 1 to delta C. Okay, see, it is not the critical angle, I am just marked the angle. Okay, it will be your minus P max cos delta, integration of sine is minus cos, and your limits will be is equal to your P max cos delta, your limits will be delta C to delta max minus d delta C to delta max. Okay, so on solving these expressions, what you will get is, you will get in terms of P max. See, in above expression, your delta 1 is, we have calculated 0.729 radians. Your delta max is 1.221 radians, and delta C will cancel out. Okay, so finally you will get this expression, 0.491 is equal to minus PM 0.34 plus PM 0.04. PM is P max. Okay, and on solving this you will get your PM as 1.22 per unit. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, now let us see this question, GATE 2017 set 1. Okay, in this question, a load is supplied by 230 volt 50 Hz source. Okay, the active power P and Q consumed by load is given in this range. Okay, so P is 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, and your Q is 1 kVAR less than equal to, see, in the actual problem it is 1 less than equal to, in actual problem it is 2 kVAR. Okay, so it's 2 kVAR. Now P and Q is given to us. Now in the question it is asking, a capacitor connected across the load for power factor correction can generate 1 kVAR. Okay, so capacitor delivers 1 kVAR. The worst case power factor. Okay, see, now this question needs the understanding of power factor. Okay, see, your power factor is what? Okay, now the worst case power factor we have to find out. See, worst case can be what? Let us analyze what is the worst case. Okay, see, the worst case will be, your Q is between 1 and 2, your P is between 1 and 2. So worst case will be your capacitor is delivering 1 kVAr, but your Q is maximum and your P is minimum. See how I am saying is this. See, your power factor can be analyzed. This is your power factor angle. This is your power factor triangle. Okay, so your cos phi is your P by S. Your tan phi is Q by P. Okay, so see now larger this angle, your power factor will be less. Okay, and thus your power factor will be very poor. Okay, so the worst case power factor means that we have to find the poorest power factor. So we have to increase this angle phi. So this angle can be increased when only your Q is maximum and your P is minimum. Okay, so just using this logic only, what I was saying is, so for worst case, your tan phi will be equal to, okay, so see you cannot keep your Q as 1 because 1 will be compensated by this capacitor. So you have to keep your Q 2, so that only 1 kVAr is compensated by capacitor and the rest 1 kVAr his load is taking from the source. So that is why your power factor is going down. Okay, so your tan phi will be equal to 2 divided by P. P will be equal, you have to take the largest, that is 2. So it will come out to be 1. So your phi will come out to be 45 degrees. So your power factor will be cos 45, that is 0.707, and that too lag. Why lag? See, the load is such that it consumes, okay, the reactive power consumed by the load. Okay, so it's a reactive, that is, it is a lagging load. So the lagging load consumes the lagging reactive power and capacitor delivers the lagging reactive power. So that is why this whole story. So you have to just analyze this worst case, and worst case can be analyzed using this, okay, this thing. So 0.707 lag is the answer. So next question, GATE 2017. Now it's given positive, negative, zero sequence reactances are given for a synchronous generator. So let me write it as Z1 positive 0.2 is equal to Z2, that is negative, and zero sequence for the generator is given to us as 0.1 per unit. Okay, the generator is an open circuit with terminal voltage of 1 per unit. Okay, the minimum value of the inductive reactance in per unit required to connected. Okay, from the grounding is with reactance. Okay, so now when your grounding is with reactance, then your Z0, that is your equivalent zero sequence impedance, becomes what? It becomes your Zg0 plus 3xn, where xn is your grounding impedance. Okay, so this is your 3xn. Okay, so that is the thing. Now he is asking that when a fault between neutral and ground, okay, the fault is single line to ground, and we have to take care. Then what you have to find, the minimum value of the inductive reactance in per unit required to be connected. Acha, okay, and your maximum IF for LG is given to you as, LG fault means single line to ground fault, is given to you as 3.75 per unit. Okay, so so now for the formula for the fault of the LG kind is 3 into ER divided by Z1 plus Z2 plus Z0. Okay, your IF is given to you in per unit 3.75, E is 1 per unit. Okay, see, it is generally assumed 1 per unit, and moreover you can find the links in the description to understand this concept. Here it is also given as 1 per unit. Okay, So your Z0, Z1 is 0.2, your Z2 is 0.2, your Z0 will be equal to 0.1 plus 3 times xn, and this xn we have to find out. So on solving this expression, your xn will come out to be 0.1 per unit. Okay, your xn will come out to be 0.1 per unit. Okay, so that is how this question needs to be solved. Okay, so in fault questions you just have to remember the formulas. Most of the times they will do. Okay, thank you. This is all for GATE 2017.